Hey, 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 hey. So we're live. Hi, Instagram. How are you? Hair flowers of today. We're still with our sunflower kick. Let's go live on our Facebook. And we never doing quickies. Hey. Okay, so we're officially live. Hi, you guys. Welcome. It's Hair by Connie here. Actually, it's Stephanie of Hair by Connie. But Akani derives from my middle name, which is Akon. No relation to Akon the rapper, but it's like Akon in my last name. So we mix and flip the two together. So welcome. Today is a special day because it's always special, but we're talking about natural hair care tips today. So for all of the people who are just now transitioning, or maybe you're still new to being natural, we definitely want to help you out because it can get hard out here and we can all use some tips. And hair is always reinventing itself, right? People always use new tips and tricks. So what I started with 10 years ago going natural is a little bit different now, or a little bit different, not so different, but people are always coming up with awesome tips and tricks. So that's definitely going to be the topic of discussion today. So welcome. Even if you're an old natural, it's okay because we want you to help the people right now. Give us your comments, your opinions on what tips you use to go natural. So first of all, talking about natural hair, let's go ahead and discuss my protective style right now. I have my bantu knots on. I actually have this style going for this is my third day. So, I just two-strand twisted my hair and I spun it around in a knot and just, I keep it. Like I wrap it up at night, and if I did want to switch my style up, I could take the twist out or the knots down and take the twist out. And that way I can have another style that's awesome. So I love it. It's super versatile. I think it's super sexy. It can be like dressed up. You can be corporate. You can dress down. It's just however you want to do it. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today, again, just talking about tips. So if you want to learn new tips on our Tuesdays where we're talking about natural hair care, I need you to follow. And I also need you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I need you to go to our Facebook and like, because we're hitting all those platforms up for those tips. So, all right. When you're transitioning, first of all, what's transitioning? Okay, you say you want to go natural, and probably you have a chemically altered style in your hair. Maybe your hair is straight because you have a relaxer, or maybe your hair is naturally straight, but it's curly because you have a perm in it, right? So you perm your hair, the chemical will make your straight hair curly. If you relax your hair, the chemical will make your curly texture straight. So you want to transition, and what are the tips? What are the questions? Let's start with some questions that people commonly have when they are going natural. Okay, so how long should I transition from chemically altered to going natural? Well, it depends on you and it depends on your hair. Obviously, if the goal is to go natural, then you're going to completely transition to natural. But in terms of when you cut off the weakened hair or the chemically altered hair, that depends on you. I mean, a lot of girls just go through with the big chop, the BC, if you've heard that term before, and that's basically just cutting off the chemically textured hair, right? So cutting off your relaxed hair, cutting off your permed hair. A reason why women do that, or men, is because it's a lot weaker than your natural hair coming out of your roots. So again, your weakest hair is usually at the tips of your hair, and your hair gets stronger as it goes to the roots. So a lot of times that hair will just naturally shed and fall off because it's weaker. It's not in the same strong texture that's naturally coming out of your hair. So if you see your hair, for instance, going from curly to straight, that line of separation is called a demarcation line. That's your weakest point, because at any moment, the chemical hair can snap off, break off. So it really depends on you. It depends on how your hair is doing. So we do have some tips to help you keep your chemically altered hair for a longer time. So we'll talk about that right now. What hairstyles should you have? So again, protective styles are key, especially if your hair is curly. Like bantu knots are great. Like I said, I've had this for 3 days and I haven't touched it at all. Hey Bree, what's up, girl? I haven't touched my hair at all, so the less manipulation in my hair, the better. My hair won't shed, it won't break. So it's best that you find a good style that works for you. A lot of girls get their hair in braids. A lot of girls put their hair in buns. They'll twist their hair if they're not going to a more permanent natural style like locking your hair. So you have so many options, but the key is stick with the routine so that you're not always in your hair, and just keep it up. Keep it up. If your hair feels like it's getting dry, moisturize it, whether it's your ends or whether it's your roots. So let's see, how to avoid breakage. So your hair needs protein and it needs moisturization, especially if you are curly, naturally curly, super coiled. Our hair needs moisture. Why does it need moisture? Well, one, I would say coily hair, especially black hair, we produce so much oil at our roots, the sebum. Thank you. Hey. But because the hair strands are so coily, the sebum doesn't spread evenly throughout your hair shaft, right? So it's going to cause your hair to become more dry, and dryness makes your hair more brittle and more apt to breakage and shedding. So you want to make sure that you have a really good moisture routine in your hair. If you can see, my hair is like sheeny, shiny. It's not oily, but because I always keep a good balance of moisture in my hair is more flexible. It's not going to break as evenly. I just have to be like really rough handling my hair for it to break. It's almost like bamboo now. It can bend and not break to certain pressures just because I have a good moisture routine. Yesterday, my scalp was a little itchy. I checked it, I smelled it. It wasn't stinky, it wasn't dirty, it was just dry. So, okay, let me go and find a light natural grease or oil, light grease to oil my scalp, just so it won't be itching, it won't irritate me. So that just meant it was dry. And sometimes you just need to drink more water. You know, water does so much for you on the inside. Number one is moisture, so sometimes it's just that. Now, protein treatments are good. Honestly, now that I'm natural all the way, I don't really use protein treatments. But again, I do take care of my hair. I feel like I have a nice, healthy, balanced diet. So my hair is getting the proper nutrients that it needs. But for people with weaker hair, thinner hair, there are protein treatments out there. There's so many that I can't even name. I think there's AphoG. I've used that before when I was transitioning. You can just go get egg from your fridge, go get it from the grocery store, and just whip it up, whether it's just the egg whites or whether it has the yolk. That's a natural protein treatment right there. And, you know, put that in your hair, let it sit with your deep conditioner and wash it out. And boom, you have a super affordable protein treatment that'll help put protein and keep your hair strands strong. So moisturize your hair, condition your hair, just have a good routine. That way your hair will be strong and it will be less susceptible to breakage. Do I have to big chop? You don't have to big chop. But if you find that your hair is really, really weak and your hair is just falling out, sometimes that's the motivation to just let it go, because you don't want to be looking straggly. That's not cute. So I know for me, I had gone natural for a while, and after a while I was transitioning for a while, and I was just like, I'm tired of this straggly. It's so weak. I'm so afraid to touch it, and my natural hair is just so strong. It was super tightly coiled, and I have these straggly, broken-ended, straighter ends. So I was just kind of like, nah, I'm going to just cut it off. So I met with some lady in her house. Hi, sis. How you doing, Dr. Cheryl? Welcome. I went to her house and I just had her chop it off. You know, I wasn't afraid, but I did go long enough. I feel like I was ready to chop it all off. And plus, I wanted healthy hair. At the end of the day, your chemically altered hair is weaker. It's sometimes it's just dead. So I was just like, let me just chop it off and go from there. So what should I avoid? The things you should avoid when you are going natural is lots of manipulation with your hands and hair tools and chemicals, of course, that alter your texture, and heat. These three things can cause a lot of damage to your hair. So number one, manipulation. You can't always have your hands in your hair, especially when your hair is super curly, because you're just going to break your hair even more. So it helps to have protective styles or styles that you can kind of set and forget. And again, this hairstyle, 3 days, I'm going to keep this hairstyle for as long as I can before it starts looking crazy. And when I do see that one or two are coming down and they're not, I'm just going to take it down, retwist it, and voila. Like, so easy. I'm just going to show you right now. Well, first of all, the versatility. Look at this. Okay? If I wanted to, like, Bantu knots are my everything, because you can literally go from like 3 hairstyles. Okay, you have the Bantu knot, you have it like this coming out, and then you can even tease this curl out even more. And so easy how I put it back, right? I'm just twisting it. And because I kept it coiled and knotted, it's going to stay. So I'm a forever fan of the Bantu knot. Okay, hair length check. But so easy, and I love it. And if you want to, find a tutorial on this, just go to YouTube. There are tons of girls and guys who have given us tips on how to Bantu knot. And you see I'm just wrapping it around itself, okay, until it's twisted. Thank you so much. I love this hairstyle. It's low maintenance, low manipulation, and literally I just do something with my edges if I want, and then I wrap it. I'm not putting my hands in my hair. That allows my hair to breathe. That allows it to grow, and I'm not doing any extra stuff. No chemicals. Does that mean that a texturizer is a chemical too? Yes. A texturizer is a low-key perm / low-key relaxer. Still chemicals that are going to eventually break and kill and weaken your hair. So stay away from those if you want to transition naturally, fully, and have like healthy hair. Heat damage. Whether this is one from being out in the hot sun without a scarf or a hat, because you can sunburn your hair, or using hot tools, heat tools without any type of heat protection. The best heat protection naturally is grapeseed oil. I think you can use heat up to 400 degrees Celsius with grapeseed oil, but you don't want to keep your hair under the stress of hot tools. If you have to flat iron your hair every day, then you probably should invest in a wig or invest in some hair extensions where you are not manipulating your hair every day. Because me, for instance, if I were to straighten my hair, like get a really good straighten blowout, something that's going to last for about almost 2 to 3 weeks to a month, my hair is going to stay more relaxed, a relaxed curl for almost a year. And sometimes some of those strands don't revert back to curly, and I have to basically cut it off because it's damaged. So I think about, I don't want to put so much heat on my hair, so I honestly invest in wigs so that I can color them, I can cut them, I can put as much heat as I want so that I'm not damaging my hair. So if you do like your hair straightened but you want to be natural, invest in a wig, sis, or broke, invest in it. Invest in some types of extensions you can tape in, you can clip in, and those you can take right out. That way you're not always putting so much heat on your hair, because you can literally fry your hair till it is dyed. We have this saying, fried, dyed, and laid to the side. Okay? Rest in peace. And I'm not trying to have my hair rest in peace. I have been natural for so long. I really want like waist length hair, and low key, I know um, moving to China and living in a less clean environment in terms of like the air pollution, that really kind of stunted my hair growth. I mean, I feel like I maintain more than anything, but now back here in the States where it's blue skies and it's sunny, and I'm not going through so much smog every day. I've seen, just doing my regular routine, I have grown about 3 inches on my hair. So yes, you're absolutely right. Hair wraps definitely work. Wrap that hair up. You're protecting those ends when you are wrapping your hair, and you're also giving your hair body and style, so you don't have to use a heat tool to bump it. But if you are going to use heat tools, most definitely use protection. Use avocado oil is great, grapeseed oil is great, but really research the oils. There are some oils that will help the heat cook faster on your hair. Like coconut oil, you don't want to use that, but please do your research. There's a non-exhaustive list of which greases, which oils are good to use, so please do your research on that. What should I expect? Don't have any expectations. I mean, honestly, I would say you can look at a hair chart for tips. If you look at my post actually on IG and on Facebook, you will see a chart with hair types from 1 all the way to 4. 1 being straight hair, 4 being kinky curly hair. And of course, each grade, 1, 2, 3, 4, is broken up between A, B, and C. Just kind of the grade of, is it straighter? Is it wavier? Is it curly? Is it coily? So to be honest with you, my hair type, I generally say 4C because most of it is 4C, but I see some 3 strands in there, and that's 3A, B, and C. Some of my curls, when moisturized, they're a little wavy. Sometimes on the end, some of them are curly, some of them are super coily. So that all didn't come at the beginning of me going natural. Some of it just changed. It could be environmentally, it could be because of products that I was using, but generally my hair is kinky coily and it's kinky curly. It's not wavy, but there are some wavy pieces. And then, for instance, the middle of my head here, it gets the driest. It coils the most. So I just learn my hair and I just adjust and I adapt, and I don't have any expectations. When I first went naturally, I was just like, oh, maybe my hair is going to look like that, or maybe my hair is going to react to this conditioner or this leave-in or this gel, and my curls are going to appear like this. Nope. Don't compare your curls. Don't compare your hair, because you just never know. You never know how your curls are going to react. Every curl is different. It's like snowflakes. No snowflake is the same. No fingerprint is the same. It's just the same as your hair. So I mean, you can talk to girls and guys about their natural hair, their routine. Ask them how their hair reacts to certain products, but honestly, you're not really going to know unless you use it, and sometimes you can look at your family, you can look at genetics to look at your curl. I know that like my mom's hair, for instance, is like finer than mine, so her hair doesn't really kink up, but my dad's hair is like super kinky. So I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. And in terms of like, as I get older, I feel like some of my hair strands and follicles are becoming more fine. So I feel like, okay, I kind of started after my dad, but now I'm kind of like changing to my mom. So I don't know. But that's just assessment that you take along the way. It's your journey. Your journey is natural and your journey is special. So, it's specific to you. And of course, you can look outside, you can get tips and stuff and learn, but really don't have any expectations because sometimes it's a lot frustrating. Like you get a product and you see advertisements saying, oh, it's going to do this and it's going to do that in terms of it's going to make my hair look a certain way. Well, it may not work for you. So you just have to try and don't get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. Just keep going, keep seeing what works for you. And if you find something that works for you, share it because someone else may need it. How long will it take for my hair to grow? Now, this question, it definitely depends. I just know that everyone's hair naturally grows about 2 inches on average a month. Now, for natural girls, especially girls with kinky curly hair, it's not about growing the hair. The hair grows. It's about retaining your length. So again, you want to look for hairstyles and hair tools that don't over manipulate and break your hair. And you also want to have a routine that gives your hair the proper maintenance in terms of moisturization that you need. So it really depends on you and your regimen, and also it depends on genetics. It was so interesting that I remember going to a hair factory and the owner just, complimenting my natural hair. My hair was natural. And she was like, yeah, black hair doesn't grow very long, does it? And I just had to basically educate her. Like, it does. Like, don't be fooled. My hair is shrunken right now because it's not straightened. It's curly. So, of course, it's going to shrink. But also, black hair grows long. There are girls with waist length hair now, shoulder length, back length. Like, it just depends on you. So yes, your hair can grow. You just have to take care of it. You have to maintain it. You have to have some type of routine that works. And again, genetics can change a lot of things. So you can look into your family tree and see, how long your hair could possibly grow. But also, just because your mom or your grandmother or father have or don't have long hair, that doesn't mean that you can't achieve it. You just have to use hair tools and hair tips that work for you. Hi, Steven. Welcome. Let's see. Product tips. Again, product tips are different for everybody. So it just depends on how your hair reacts to it. You don't need to be a product junkie. Of course, if you go back and you look at our other videos, we talk about affordable do-it-yourself hair care products that you have right in your own house. The oils, the butters, the eggs, mayonnaise, rice for strengthening. And also rice is also great for adding protein into your hair because it strengthens your hair. So go online and definitely check some things out, check some videos out, check some reviews out, and see what works best for other people and try it. You have to try things in your hair to see how it's going to work. Sometimes some things used to work on my hair that don't really work so much now. Should I put those products in my hair? Which products exactly? It depends. I would say test some products out. The more natural the products are, the better the products are. I like to use products that don't really have a lot of chemicals in them. Now, of course, if things have preservatives for shelf life, you don't want to have a product that's gonna go to a store and expire before it can even go to the shelf or before someone can even buy it. So a lot of times people put preservatives in their hair. But I mean, even if you don't want to use products with chemicals in it, just go to your kitchen and see. If your hair feels soft and you're looking for something to soften it, olive oil with some mayonnaise works. If your hair is weak and you're looking for something to make it stronger, soak some rice water for a day and use that water, put it on your hair, rinse it out. Or you can get an egg, mix it up, mix the egg white up or the yolk, put it on your hair, leave it, wash it out. There's so many ways that you can do the products yourself, use them, and the more natural, the better. You're less likely to break out. But a lot of times, the smells may not be working well. So I always keep essential oils on me. I mean, I put them on my body, I put them on my hair. Lavender works great. I mean, you can find whatever you like. Lang lang. Just put it inside of the products that don't smell good. Like rice water is really good for you, but it doesn't really smell great, especially after it's been fermenting for like a day or 2 days. So add some drops of some things that smell good, and boom, you got it. Be careful when you're detangling, okay? So detangling your hair, it can cause rips, breakage, especially if you don't know how to really manage your hair. So it's really good to use proper detangling products. Use good detangling brushes. Use a Hi Sky, how are you? Use a wide tooth comb that you can get through your strands. And how do you detangle your hair? You start from the bottom all the way to your root, okay? And for some people, moisturizing their hair with water first, spraying it with water, helps your hair become more flexible, and so it can help the knots slip when you are brushing or combing it out. Don't use a fine tooth comb on your curls. Not even on straight hair should you use it, because there are little knots and tangles in there that you don't know. Even though my hair is protected in Bantu knots right now, it's still growing and it's still coiling within itself. So I have to be careful when I take it out. And if you don't have any tools, your fingers are just fine. You know, and your fingers can actually catch slip knots better than your hair tools can. And when you do find that you have a snag or something in your hair, stop combing, stop brushing, use your fingers, and detangle. What's my hair type? Again, answered that, but you can look for the hair type charts. I have some on my Instagram page, my Facebook page, and from there you can kind of learn what type of products you can use. We'll probably do a video on that sometime later, so we'll help you guys out with that. How often do I trim? So if you're transitioning, you want to trim the chemically altered part of your hair as much as you want. Honestly, it depends on you. Some people aren't comfortable with all their hair being natural at first when they first start out, so they keep those dead nasty ends on. I get it. I've been there, but after a while it's just going to be straggly. It's not going to be cute. So you can just keep cutting ever so often, maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, or just go with the rate that your hair is growing out. If your hair grew an inch, cut off an inch. If you're not transitioning, if you're fully natural, you can tell when you need to trim your ends, when your ends are like rough, when they're not curled, especially when you wet it with moisturizer and it's a little rough at the ends, it's frizzy, cut it off. That means it's unhealthy, and if you can't revive it, it's time for it to go. You have knots and tangles, cut it off. It is easier to see sometimes some split ends when your hair is straight, but as you become more natural and more comfortable with your natural hair and used to seeing things, you're gonna know, I see a split end, or you're going to be able to recognize. So again, it's your journey. Just stay true to your journey. Your hair will stay true to you. You do it right, your hair is gonna do you right. You're gonna know what you need to do, so it's not gonna be hard. Does natural hair shed a lot? Naturally healthy hair sheds some, because hair just sheds in general. You're always shedding hair. Hair is always falling off of your body, off of your head. Every walk you take, every step you take, however the song goes. I don't know. But does your natural hair shed? Yes. Does it shed a lot? If it's not healthy, it's going to shed a lot. It's going to break and shed. And when you brush your hair or comb your hair, you're going to find that a lot of it is coming out. So some of it is not shedding, some of it is breakage, and there's a difference. Naturally, yes, your hair will shed, but will your hair naturally break? No. So make sure your hair is healthy. Make sure you have a routine that's properly moisturized, and you are keeping some type of good regimen on your hair so that it only sheds naturally. You know, the amount of hair that's in your comb or your brush after say 2-3 weeks or so when you need to wash it, it should be very minimal. You should not have a handful of hair. Now, if your hair is in braids and your braids have been up for about a month or 2 months, yes, that hair could not shed outside of the braids. So when you are brushing your hair, you're going to find a lot more. Don't freak out. It's just that your hair couldn't drop anywhere. So it just had to stay until you took it down. And the same with having bantu knots. I mean, I won't keep this up for a month or two. I'll probably keep it up for at least a week, take it down and redo it. But I'm going to find some pieces of shed hair that couldn't just naturally fall because my hair isn't exposed right now. Let's see. How to keep natural hair curl when dry. How to keep your curly hair texture when you're dry. When it's dry. There are lots of hair products that you can use. Usually this is in the realm of gels or curl enhancing conditioners. So these will enhance your curl, help keep the shape and definition of your curl when your hair dries, because when your hair is dry and doesn't have any moisture, it's going to shrink and it's going to shrivel. It's not going to necessarily show your hair pattern. And I know with super coily hair, a lot of girls say, oh, I don't have a curl pattern. You do have a curl pattern. It's just not the same on every strand, on every part of your hair, and that's the beauty of the pattern. So it could be every type of way, but how do you kind of preserve that and keep it a little bit stretched and elongated? Use a curling enhancing cream. I mean, so many natural hair care product lines have them. And if you don't have one, a really good natural DIY tip is to take some flax seeds, put them inside, or boil them, put them inside of a stocking cap or pantyhose, and the mucus that comes out of that is your natural hair gel. And you can use that to form your hair. The only thing is it may not hold it as much, and that's where again you might find some products will come in with some extra chemicals to hold it a lot. So I have very thick hair, so flaxseed alone, the mucus or the gel from the flaxseed is not going to, for instance, lay down my edges. I need something a little bit stronger. So I am going to make some accommodations in terms of how much chemicals are in the products that I use for my my curl enhancing goals. You know, if I want my hair to be to stay in the 2-strand twist look, I'm gonna use some gel while I'm 2-strand twisting it, and that way it's just gonna stay in that coil and I'll take it down. I don't think flaxseed is too strong for children, just because it's natural and you don't really hear about people being allergic to flaxseed. That doesn't mean that they're not. So again, you can always test it out. And how to test products on your hair: take hair from the perimeter, hair that if something happens to it, you're not worried about losing, or maybe a piece in the middle. It depends on your hair, what you're comfortable with, and try it out. But I don't think flaxseed is too strong for children. It's definitely super natural, and I find it to be super light. Like it helps with some styles, but it doesn't necessarily hold enough for me. So it just depends on you and your child, of course. So I would say try it out on her or him and see what works best. So great question. Wash your hair in twists. Wash your hair in twists. Okay, so it's not about growing hair, it's about retaining the hair that you grew, right? It's retaining that length. Thank you. When I wash my hair in twists, it cuts down on the time that I have to detangle and the manipulation time that I have to detangle my hair. So basically, what does that mean? As soon as you put water in my hair, it's gonna curl, it's gonna coil up, and I'm gonna have a harder time detangling my hair, whether it's with my hand, whether it's with a hairbrush or whatever. But if I keep my hair twisted, it's already been detangled. So you wash it regularly, you scrunch at your roots, and you squeeze on down the hair shaft, and then you condition it, deep condition it, and let it air dry. Air drying is, of course, a lot healthier than drying with a blow dryer or a dome dryer because there's no heat damage. So on hot days like this, I love it because I wash my hair. If I want it to dry quickly, I just go outside. I go outside and sit for a few minutes, and usually my hair is dry or dry enough for me to proceed with my day. So that's a really great tip. The same with my Bantu knots. After I moisturized my hair, it was a little bit damp after I dried it. I don't dry with towels anymore. I dry with old t-shirts because the cotton fibers don't snag and pull my hair. So that's another little tip. The fibers in a traditional towel, I don't know what they're made out of, but they snag your hair a lot and it's not really good. So sleeping on a satin pillow, for instance, is better than sleeping on a cotton pillow because it's going to help retain that moisture in your hair, whereas cotton is going to soak up the moisture. So when you are drying your hair, use a cotton towel or an old cotton t-shirt. I kept all my t-shirts from high school, college, free stuff that I received, and I keep them for my wash day routine. So it's allowing my hair to dry, not snagging my hair, and also it's just damp enough. I go outside or I just walk around the house all day and I let it dry. Love your curly hair. Love your natural hair. It's so beautiful. I was so nervous when I went natural. I knew I was gonna look different because I look different when my hair is straight. I look different when my hair is natural. I look different when I have a wig on. And that's what I love about it. The personalities, right? You can totally go to your boyfriend or girlfriend and be like, you thought I was crazy. Wait till I change my hair, okay? But it was so beautiful. I was so nervous. I was like, are guys going to approach me the same? I think back then that's all I was worried about. Just like, are people not going to think that I'm like beautiful because of my natural hair? But when I tell you, your natural hair is natural, so it's your natural beauty and it's going to enhance. I like going natural. My cheekbones will pop out more. You can see my face more because my hair was like raised. It was away from my hair, and I received much more compliments than I expected to receive. Like I thought that I thought guys were gonna like find it weird, not find me as attractive, and it was like the total opposite. But outside validation, it's a good booster, but you shouldn't judge your life off of that. Not like I did totally, but I definitely question, like, is this going to like affect me? Is this going to affect my dating life? Like, what's going to happen? And I was just like so surprised. I was so happy. There were people who actually encouraged me, like, wow, your hair is so beautiful when it's curly because it's supposed to be like that. I love to see you when you're curly. Like, I want you to wear your hair curly more. And again, it doesn't matter what people say, what they think. Even if everybody told me that my hair was ugly, I was going to have to learn that I have to feel good about it. So love your hair because it's so beautiful. It's so, 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 so beautiful. And it's just the nature of what it is. Sometimes I go up to my friends who have straight hair. They're like, oh my gosh, I wish my hair was curly sometimes. And then sometimes when I want my hair straighter because my hair was just too curly, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish my hair was straight right now. So just love your hair, love yourself. Don't worry about outside validation. Just like, this is such a true, beautiful, passionate journey. And I encourage you all to like choose it when you want to. Coming up, I would say that, I was told that my hair was not professional. You didn't see my hair on TV. Every time there was a black woman on TV or something, or just going into the workplace, hair straight or straighter. It was never kinky. It was never curly. And you'd actually have some companies going through their HR departments letting people know that you weren't allowed to wear natural hairstyles, especially styles that were more common in the black community in terms of your braids, your twist out, your locks. Being told that your natural hair is unprofessional when it's not is a form of systematic racism, and all of that has to end. We're still fighting with this. I mean, you can see on the news how it affects even young children, not just watching TV and not being able to see themselves represented, but if your school is telling you that your locks or your braids are unprofessional and outside of the standard conduct code that the school sets for the children, that can really do a lot for your self-esteem. And as a Black woman, knowing that my hair naturally grows like this and I'm the only one with this hair, that singles me out. And what happens naturally with any issue when you're singled out? You start to become depressed and you start thinking negatively about yourself. And as we know, because Black hair is beautiful, textured hair is beautiful, all of that is just systematic racism used to brainwash, to make us feel inferior. It has nothing to do with our hair being unprofessional. It has nothing to do with our hair not being attractive, because when you look at mainstream media, so many people like to emulate our hair. And that's a beautiful thing. Don't shy away from that, and don't let people make you feel like you're down about it. So the PSA of the day is to help have a voice with that. And I want to shine some light on the Crown Act. The Crown Act is an organization that, the Crown Act is a law that came from the Crown Organization, which is like an alliance between Dove and other coalitions to help protect discrimination against natural hairstyles. It's a law that prohibits race-based discrimination, which can include denial of employment and education opportunities because of hair textures or protective hairstyles, including braids, locks, twists, and bantu knots. So anytime that the Hair Act is passed in a state, it means that protection is afforded in state employment, state housing, and education codes. So right now, 7 out of the 50 states have passed the Crown Act: California, Washington State, Colorado, Virginia, Maryland, and New York. And it's basically saying that no job, no school, or if you're trying to rent a house, buy a house, no one can discriminate against your hair. They can't tell you that you don't have a job, or you have to change your job, or you make less pay, or you can't go to this school, or if you do go to this school, your hair is this way, you're going to be suspended, or you can't rent this property, you can't buy this property, because these are real issues that mostly Black people are still experiencing through the system because of very racist laws. So you can go to thecrownact.com to sign the petition and help get legislation in your state. Right now, it's not in the state of Texas, and I would love for it to be in the state of Texas. So I'm going to start working. I've already signed the petition, and I definitely want you guys, whatever state you're in, make this real, because it may not affect you today, but we're going to keep on having children, and we're going to keep on with this legacy. So I want the children of tomorrow to be protected. If not today, I want the children of tomorrow to be protected. And listen, last thing, I'm just thankful that today I can go into a Walmart, or I can go into a store and find more natural hair care products for Black hair. When I was a kid, that was unheard of. I had to maybe go to the beauty supply store. But if I wasn't going out of my way to go there, going to a place to get groceries and or other products that I could use in my everyday life, my products were missing. So I'm glad that we have that representation, and I'm glad we are here where we are now. But we still need to keep fighting for equality and justice, especially when it comes to our hair. So with that, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you learned a lot. Definitely comment on our post about any natural hair care tips that you use. And also sign up for the petition at thecrownact.com, thecrownact.com. and sign that petition so that we can get these laws passed in your state. We want to end the systemic racism, especially when it comes to our hair. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. Follow, like, subscribe, share. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, and we're on Facebook. And I'm your girl. If you need any detangling tools, we have a great brush that works for you, generally enough for your kids. Hit us up, www.hairbyconnie.com. We're going to see you this Thursday where we're actually talking about business. So catch us then. You guys have a good time and love you. Bye.